we bring you Texas Rangers manager Bruce Bochy. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys. How we doing?
Well, 4-game winning streak. It's hard to be upset about that. I was curious. I know it has nothing to do with the series itself, but the Rockies dismissed their manager right before this series started. Do you always feel some empathy for managers in that position, since you've surely been in a position before where you're like, hey, sometimes people don't know. Like, I couldn't control this, or maybe it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it's never the manager's fault. So the arrow should always be pointing somewhere else. But all kidding aside, yeah, I know Buddy Black very well. We do the guys trip. We all go together in the winter, so I spent some time with him then. So very a good, outstanding baseball man. That he had a tough deal that was dealt to him this year, and you understand that it's part of the game. I mean, changes are made. We made a change, and see if we can shake it up. And we as managers know it's usually pointing our way as part of what you deal with in this seat. And, but the only thing you can do is go out there and keep doing the best job that you can. And I can tell you, Buddy was doing that. He never stopped trying to get it figured out. But anyway, you see it throughout baseball for years, and that it's just coaches, manager. It goes with the territory.
Are you, or is Bud Black the better fisherman?
Well, Buddy likes to fly fish, so we're probably about even there, because I don't fly fish as much. Up in Colorado, that's what they do. So, but if you go fishing anywhere else, oh no, Buddy, he's more of a outdoorsman as far as, he used to ski a little bit and all that stuff. On this trip, I would go ice fishing, but he wouldn't.
Are you more of a bass or deep sea guy? Which one's your favorite?
You know what? My favorite is brackish water. I love redfish, speckled trout. We have a fish in Florida where I grew up called a snook, similar to a tarpon, but you can eat it. But tarpon fish and all, that's my favorite. And brackish water and in the inlets there in Florida.
Yeah, well, that's what me and my buddies go down to Port O'Connor, and that's where we would go get our redfish and our blackfish as well down there. And that was always a lot of fun, making sure you got your limit and eating some good fish at the same time. And then every once in a while you catch a shark, and then that's a lot of fun.
A shark?
Yeah, just one of the little ones, just one of the little guys.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. I guess we should probably ask some baseball questions too. We'll save the fishing conversation for another day. How important or how clutch was the performance last night of Shawn Armstrong? Like, you're in control of the game, but you can see a situation where it could slip away from you, and to have him come in there and just boom, 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 strikeout, game over.
Yeah, back-to-back nights. I mean, Webb had to come in the night before. He got in a jam and got the double play ball. Armstrong came in and get 3 strikeouts. That's going to be part of his role now with his experience with a couple high leverage guys or setup guy and closer down. Those guys will have their roles bumped up. You can't use Garcia every day. Hobie's got the Milner I'm talking about. He's got the experience to pitch late in the ball game. You saw the great job he did last night. But it was big. It was. That game gets away. Here you lose a setup guy. Well, he just became our closer. You lose him and lose the game. Yeah, that's going to be demoralizing, I think, for the club.
Do you have an update for us right now on Chris Martin?
No, I don't. No, I just checked. We have not got results yet, so hoping for the best there. But it's going to be, my guess is he's got a good chance to head to the IL.
And, I know it sounded like Luke Jackson avoided a more potentially catastrophic injury, but how's he doing?
Yeah, I walked in with him yesterday. The hand, the swelling had pretty much gotten down. I think we got lucky on this. We did some more, took some more pictures of it. No fracture. It looks like 4 or 5 days in that area. He could show up today and go, I'm fine. I haven't seen him today yet. But, so, yeah, we definitely got a break there.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Hobie Milner just a minute ago. I know sometimes spring training stats can be deceptive, but this is somebody who had a rougher spring training. How valuable has he been to the big club so far this season?
Oh, man, he's our stopper, and what I mean, he comes in to stop rallies in that 6th, 7th inning. He's a matchup guy for lefties, but you know, he's very effective against righties. He can sink it. He's got the change up. He's got the sweeper, they call it. And so anyway, and he's comfortable pitching those situations. He's done it for a while. He's pitching a postseason. So, yeah, that was a big sign for us.
You know, Josh Jung over the last 4 games now has been kind of rocking it, and I was kind of curious on the front of the message overall and how guys are going with this. Does it feel like the guys are starting to respond to what Brett Boone's message is and what y'all are trying to accomplish here a little bit better?
Yeah, Booney's I think fitted real well. I think he's noticing another set of eyes and ears for these guys from a different perspective. Justin Bealey's he'll head up the meeting. And he told them, he says, I'm going to be observing here. I'm going to get to know you guys. But I can tell you he's proactive. He's already talking to guys and the situations and, the pitching. So, yeah, it's a ton of experience. This guy had a heck of a career, but he can translate that stuff he learned growing up in the game to our guys here on the offensive side and defensive side. So, anyway, I think he's been a great fit so far.
And talking about Josh Jung, he feels like the kind of guy who hopefully doesn't complain about where he is in the batting order, but still, how much kind of resiliency or whatever does it show that he was lower in the batting order and has just chipped and moved his way back up?
Yeah, I know it's been a little fluid here. And, I talked to him because he was hit 9th there a few times, and just the way, ended up being set up. He's not a 9-hole hitter, but such a big spot, to get that lineup turned over and get on base for the other guys. And the message, I just want him to know that if he is hitting down there, I don't think he's a 9-hole hitter, but, for that day, we think this is the best thing or best chance to win this ball game and don't get caught up when you're hitting, because I don't care where you hit our order, you're probably going to come out with men on base now. The guys are finding ways to get on there. Carter has really changed how we set up our order. He's a left-hander. I try to break up the righties so we don't stack similar type hitters in the same lineup. And so sometimes that will, push somebody who is normally hitting 5th or 6th, at the back end of the order. And so you can't get caught into that, because now that's going to affect your hitting at the plate. So, but that is my job to kind of touch base with them when I do move guys around.
I know what they're doing at the plate important, but also what they're doing in the field and how you kind of play and juggle that with Cory Seager out. What you're playing at shortstop, it looks like you have a couple different options that you can work with. How do you manage that?
Yeah, with Cory out, I'd pretty much say that Smitty's our shortstop. He's going to be out there for the most part. I left him at first in Baltimore, but they stacked their lineup with left-hand hitters. I figured there'd be more action there. He's got more time at first base than Duran. But I will use Smitty, give somebody a day off, whether if it's in the outfield, then probably see Duran go to shortstop. So especially if it's in center field.
Every time I see a player get put on the injured list, but it's retroactive, I hope for the best, that hopefully they can be ready to go as soon as the 10 days are up. Is that the hope for Cory Seager right now?
I can't say that. I think, you always have hope, I guess, but it's going to be longer than that. I think best thing I can give you right now is it's going to be a couple weeks, we'll reevaluate him and where he's at after 2 weeks. What we want to do is get this thing right, so we don't, keep doing this and keep fighting that hamstring and getting back on the IL. So we're going to do all we can to build it up here. It's going to take a little bit of time. Could be up to 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, it could, but I can't answer that until we check him out after 2 weeks.
I know fans get disappointed about injuries in general, but I'm curious how frustrated Cory Seager gets about continuous injuries like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is why, you do what you do. You love to play, and he knows we need him. He knows how important he is to our club. So, yeah, he's frustrated, especially when you're swinging the bat the way he is. He does so much for our club. The presence, how he stretches out a lineup, the damage that he does. He plays a great shortstop, all those things. And so, yeah, this is why this is probably going to take a little bit longer, because we need to get this cleared up. And it's a long season. We still have a lot of games. But, I'll go back to 23. We lost them for 5 weeks there. We played over 500 ball. And so this is a team with a lot of depth to it, a lot of talent, and there's no reason why we can't continue to play winning baseball, even though Corey's not in the lineup. It's never about one guy, especially in baseball. Yeah, does he help? But the way our pitching's going and the depth we have in this lineup, yeah, sure, we're not quite the same team, but we're a winning team without Corey.
Well, I think all the fans out there is kind of in the same boat where we'd love to see him for an extended period of time. So get it right, and we'll be happy to see that for sure. Jack Leiter goes out there last night, has a really nice start. That's a really good start for Jack Leiter. For you, for him, what is the model of consistency that you're hoping to get and hoping that he kind of learns and goes out and does?
Well, every game you hope he takes something from that game or what he could have done better. I think he's going to look at that game at, again, some 2 strike pitches. He's got to get a little bit more consistent, like he did in Cincinnati when he dominated, where, he cut the breaking ball on the strike or the changeup, but it was down below the zone. He was getting some chase. For example, last night he walks 2 guys. Those are 2 guys he can't walk. He's got to attack those guys. It wasn't like they were the 3-4 hitters, and not a knock against them, but a point being, those aren't the guys you want to walk to get to the top part of the order. So, yeah, did he pitch well? Yeah, 6 innings, quality start, but it's going to get better.
Same kind of genre of question with Jake Berger. Like, what do you hope that Jake saw, heard, or learned during his stint in the minor leagues?
You know what? I think more than anything with Jake, just to relax and kind of get his balance back at the plate, get his confidence going again. I think he was pressing up here. I really believe that. And I don't like to use that word a lot, but I think his case, in somebody else's case, we did have a couple guys that were pressing big time, and it's fairly common with guys that joined the club for the first time. So we wanted him to get away, take a deep breath, and catch his breath, and just get his timing back at the plate. He's been playing a great defense. Mm-hmm. That was terrific. That was it was good to see how quickly he just improved there, first base in spring training.
Now, one of the big discussions across baseball yesterday was the removal of the ban on Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and players like that. I'm curious what you think about the worthiness of them as Hall of Fame players, or were you surprised that it took this long?
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised. When you look at what happened, I mean, it's the one rule that it's read to us every spring. It's the rule more than anything. And so, yeah, I mean, it tells you right there you'll be banned from baseball. Mm-hmm. And so that's the consequences you have to pay when you break that rule, because now you're affecting the integrity of the game. And Now, no doubt, you look at Pete when he's accomplished, and you go, well, yeah, he's got to be in the Hall of Fame. But my stance is, I talked about it yesterday, they got a Veterans Committee. And those guys are the guys that make that decision, and I think that's fair. It's their Hall of Fame, and so they have the right to make those decisions with these players that have had the suspension lifted, and they're they now can get in the Hall of Fame. So, yeah, it's a shame. It really is, this whole thing, because we don't have a hits leader in there. Shoeless Joe Jackson, with a little bit I know about him, I mean, what a tremendous player, and probably got caught up in the wrong crowd there during that World Series at 19. But, you break the rules, you break the law, whatever, you're going to pay the consequences.
Has your job become particularly more difficult when it comes to gambling the last few years because of how accessible daily fantasy and stuff on your phone, and there's so many more avenues than there used to be?
Yeah, it's kind of funny how all this has come around. Now you're watching sports and you're seeing all these gambling commercials, isn't it? Yeah. No, it really hasn't affected me. Although they do want the lineups up at a certain time. I think it's by 3 o'clock in the day, so they can put their lines out, whatever. But if we ever get approached, a player, anybody, it just mentions something, whether it's an injury or whatever, then we have to report it. And it's watched very closely. You saw an umpire this winter. Unfortunately, he lost his job. It's because he was on the same website of this other guy that was betting on the game, and it's a shame. And you got to watch it. I don't think the umpire, from what I could gather, was doing anything wrong. But they just tell you can't do that. You're guilty.
Well, we appreciate the time very much. Opportunity for a sweep tonight, and I know those are tough to come by. So best of luck, and thank you again for your time.
Hey, guys, always good talking with you. I'm sorry I sound kind of weird, but I'm getting over this crud right now.
Everybody's got the crud right now, Boch. It's
no
okay,
worries.
Man.
Just keep winning, and we're good. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you.